Welcome to the live. Okay, so today we are going to paint this with oil pastel. I'm using Faber-Castell as my painting material. Let's start with the... Oh, but before that, before doing this, I'm just going to roughly erase some of these lines. Okay, that would do it. Let's start. Thank you, Rango Person. Okay, so what we are doing here is I'm trying to place the colors that I see in the original picture, and currently it's looking like some lights and darks and some rough shapes, but I'm just trusting the process here and trying to don't overthink it and just place the colors as I see, and hopefully in the end it will make something good. Yes, it's supposed to be a dog. That's what we are planning for. And it is running in the nature. A tiny happy dog running in the nature. Okay. Now I'm seeing some lighter shades. I'm going with white for these lighter shades. Thank you. Same here. Same here. Most of the time, I'm also just waiting until I see the result. I have no idea how it will turn out, and that's the fun part of it. Some white here, some white here, here for the lighting effect, some here, and also some here. Okay, and also we are going with a yellow. Just let me clean it for a second. So what I have is I have an extra sheet of paper in which I clean my oil pastels on them from time to time. So here's what we're going to do. The fur of this dog in this section are highlighted with light. So I'm going to use this yellow color for them, and then on top of that I am adding white maybe. And also the same thing goes in here, in the tail. And here. And a little bit here. So now let's move on with the white. And with this white color I'm just going to add a little highlight on all these yellow, because I'm not looking for too much yellow. And this is just a rough sketch for the first, and then while we're continuing with the painting we are going to complete it. So moving on with the paws. I'm going to use this color. This is the closest I have to the original color I'm seeing. It's not quite the same, but the closest I have. And that would do it probably. And then I'm going with a darker shade here and there. Just tiny lines. Just tiny lines. And then with white, you're going over it. Also here, I'm seeing a little dark shade, so I'm going to add it. And also a darker shade for the shadow. And again, with the white, just going to shape it. Just like this. Here I'm also seeing some highlights, so I'm just going to add them. Also here, and some more here. Then we have some orangish shade in this area. And some more in here. And here. And some here. Great. I'm gonna use a very light shade, the lightest I have. Let me just find it. I guess it would be this one. And let me just first try to add some more white here. Yeah, this would look perfect. And here. And I'm trying to see all the other colors that are not in brown shade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a very, very dark shade of blue for these places to add this extra shadow to it. And also a cooler tone. I'm adding it to all places that I think is necessary. See, so far it's much more bolder. Okay. Let's see. Now I'm going to use this one, the dark brown, to fill in these fairs right here, and also some more here. And here I'm also going to add some of this dark blue shade. And over it, I'm going to use white first, and then brown on top of it. Now with this one, I'm just going to briefly go over all the colors together and just smooth them out. Just smoothing them out in the way they should be. Also here. Now we are moving the other direction. Okay. And let's add this on top of all these blue shades. Same goes for here. We have that nice dark underneath layer, and on top of it we're adding this brown shade. Good. We have some dark shade here. Now moving on with the face. moving to the tongue for now, and then we're going back for extra details. I'm going to use this dark, not too dark, but this purple, let's say, in some areas. Some other areas I'm going to add blue. And then on top of them, pink. And then using the black color for the corner of the mouth. Okay, and we go here for the nose. And again here. And also here, corner of the mouth. Okay. And here we have some dark shadows. I'm going to use this black oil pastel, and on top of that I'm gonna apply my gray color to kind of blend with white. And then again, using the white color, blend them all together. Okay, we have a highlight here, just like this. And also I'm going to try to keep the shape. Okay. And we have some white for the teeth. And other than that, again, we're going to add black for the shadows. Okay, let's move on and also add the eye. And then again, complete the other parts. So I'm using this one as the base color for the tail. And I'm applying it everywhere I think I can see in the original painting, in the original picture. Now I'm seeing some dark shades, so I'm going to add them using this brown, dark brown shade. And then we are blending them together using the first color. Just small dots of this color. Some yellow here and there. And the rest, the same thing. I'm also going to add some white here for the highlights of this, the fur of the dog's face, and some highlights here. Now I'm trying to shape it into the final shape I want, following the actual order. I don't like the eye though. I guess I'm going to kind of change the shape. No, it's better. Yeah, much better. So again, using white for the highlights. Here, also here. Just like this, and then I'm going to also add separate fur here for the ear part, the other extra hair of it. Completed with yellow. Yes. Also, I'm going to add some very dark shade of brown here, but since I'm not getting the result I want, I'm going to add this very dark shade of blue. See, it instantly gave me the effect I wanted. Also going to add some here, and then on top of it, now I'm going to use the brown I was using. I'm also going to use this for some extra parts to show the fur. Here, also some here. And we also want some here, so I'm going to add some highlight here. Some highlight here. And some more on these sides. What else to do? We can add some, we can add some of this here. And here, this section, this place. We added it here, right? Yeah. And to separate the lighting from the actual body, I'm going to use this brown here to kind of separate the actual dog's body from the fur that is in the light. Okay, then we have this section, and then we have a very dark section like we did before. Now I'm kind of blending them together so that they're not looking so separated from each other. Now we can first move on to the background and see how the dog looks filled in the background, then add extra details if needed. I'm going to start with this shade of green. Here, and then it will go just like this. Yeah. Then adding yellow for this part. And here. And also some parts here and there. Just randomly. Randomly applying this yellow here and there to show the lighting on the grass, like it's a beautiful sunny day. Great, and now again with the first color, the green, feeling the other parts. I'm not gonna get so obsessed with it so far, and just roughly adding the colors. There's always time to add the details. Some more yellow here. And then green for the rest. Now we are adding our third color to the grass, which is gonna be this brown shade. In some parts, I'm just going to add small lines of this brown shade, just loosely. Not thinking about it, just adding it. And the further we go, we are not going to want that straight lines. These straight lines are just for here, but at the this part of the grass, we don't want the lines, we want more of shapes and dots. Just roughly adding shapes and not really thinking about it. Here, lines. And now let's add the darker shade of green. Or let's do something else. Let's use this dark blue, which we already did. Same thing, but more condensed, more put together. Okay, here and there, and also some parts, we're adding them as lines. Okay, in the corners, here more condensed, then lines, here condensed, and more of a shape. Also here, and let's do corners too. I want to add this color to some places. And then again with the first color, the green, just going over them. For some parts we are going to add green on top of the yellow parts. And I'm kind of blending the colors together. Especially the more that it goes to the back, we want more blending. So let's blend these parts. Blend, blend, blend them together. And if there's a mistake, we're not worried, we will go back to it later. Just doing whatever feels right at the moment. Yes. Blending all the colors together. And you know what I'm gonna do here? The blending technique is going to change from circle to just line, straight line, straight line, straight line. Okay, now we can add some highlights here and there. I want some highlights here, this part. I want some highlights here. Let's add some here. And also some here. The most important part. And we can use this white to shape the grass. And use a dark shade to do the same thing in some places. Now let's move on from the grass to the background. I'm thinking of adding a jungle. So I'm going to use a very, very dark shade of green. I don't have that shade, like the darkest I have is this, which is not enough. So I'm going to add an underneath layer in some places, like here. But first I'm just going to add a separation here, just this specific area. And then also here, it would be great to have it here too. And then I'm going to use black as my underneath color in some specific places, like here. And it's full dense, like completely black. Full pressure black. Okay. And this is going to be the darkest shade of the background, so I'm just going to leave it to that. And for the other places, I'm going to add this dark blue for my underneath layer. And I'm going to leave some little places like empty so I can use the green and only the green. But beside that, I'm just going to keep this dark blue. I noticed that I'm using the wrong blue. This was the darkest shade, so, or is it? Yeah, this is the darkest shade. Okay. But why does it feel different? Let's move on with the first one. I liked it better. Okay, just some random shapes here and there, just as you feel for. Like, do it as you want to. Just don't overthink it. Just do it as you please. Also some of here and this place too, and also here. And I guess that would be good. Now let's move on to add the green. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fill in the rest of the sections with this color and then add a green on top of all of them. So I'm adding this one. I'm simultaneously trying to blend them together as much as I can, but the rest is going to happen with the green. Yeah. And here, and also this part. Now let's add green, the main color. In a circular move, I'm going to blend them all together. Okay, and this is the background. For some oil pastels, there is a possibility that you can like blend them together, but since I'm using Faber-Castell, it's not the best material, so if you're using a better one, you can of course blend them together. It will have like this nice smooth effect, but I like this one. To me, it seems cool. I like this circular texture of it. Let's see if we can do some more or if we are going to leave it to that. Um, I'm going to add some more grass lines. And let's add some more white, yellow in some places. More yellow here, more yellow here. And some lines. Okay, let's see if we are going to add anything else for the dog. I might add some more. Yeah, we have some work here. Much better. Also, just around the eye to kind of shape the eye form. And around it. guess I'm happy with it. I'm going to leave it as it is. Um, yeah, I can just add some white on the tongue, some white here, some here, and beside these, I guess I'm okay with the rest. Yep. I hope this live was useful and you enjoyed it. And thanks for joining. I'm gonna also share. Thank you. Thank you, Rango person. So we are having live videos every one and then, like I guess 2 times a week or once a week. And I will be happy to see you guys here. Also, let me know if you have any questions while I'm packing everything up. Thank you guys.